Welcome, Wisconsin Rapids community media viewers and Lincoln High School Red Wrestling fans. This is Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling. First dual meet of the Valley Conference season. And this is from Wausau East. Starting at 190 pounds tonight, Wausau East has Cash Ryan Seafelt. He will receive a forfeit from the Red Raiders at 190 pounds. At 215 pounds, Kyler Tritz for your Red Raiders will take on Elmer Hurd for the Wausau East Lumberjacks. At 285 pounds, Americus List from Wausau East. He'll wrestle your Red Raider, Tanner Gormanson. 106-pounder, Jackson Freeman. He will take on Peter Winter. Oh, they're going to forfeit to him. At 113 pounds, Luke Hamill will win by forfeit as well. 120 pounds, Deegan Armagast for the Red Raiders. He will receive a forfeit as well. 126 pounds, Landon Freeman. Your Red Raider will take on Jacob Shoot. At 132 pounds, Spencer Pearson from Wausau East will wrestle Aspen Tritz, your Red Raider. 138 pounds, Jack Ackerman. Your Red Raider will take on Cameron Bushman from Wausau East. 144 pounds, Gavin Jacobs. Your Red Raider will wrestle Christian Simmons from the Wausau East Lumberjacks. Chase Gethers at 150 pounds. Your Red Raider is supposed to receive a forfeit here from Wausau East. At 157 pounds, Jeremiah Peters from Wisconsin Rapids. He will take on Camden Rye. 165-pound Mason Tritz. Your Red Raider will take on Alexander Sherney. And a matchup at 175 pounds, Oakley Plus will take on Gage Stockwell from Wausau East. The field house is dark here except for the center spotlight. Hopefully we'll turn on some more lights so we can see a little better. We will take a quick break as they play the national anthem. We'll be back with the first match of the dual meet. Hurd was in the conference tournament last year. Kyler Tritz up to 215 this year to start with. Wausau East team score 6-0 in favor of the Lumberjacks. Tritz snatching him down. They go out of bounds. Near fall points are changed as well. When the referee counts to 2, once the near fall criteria is met, 45-degree angle of the shoulders facing the mat, the wrestler receives 2 near fall points. A 3 count, the wrestler receives 3. A 4 count, the wrestler receives 4. Tritz cleared the head into a double, drives right through him, got a takedown, got an arm bar wired up, running him over on his shoulders. Near fall coming. As I said, a 4 count by the official gives a 4-point near fall. And a 5-point near fall occurs if you have already occurred accrued, the 4 point, and there's blood or an injury. Tritz is trying to flatten him out tight, and there is the pin in 156 on the fall. Six, the dual meet stands now. 285 pounders. Tanner Gormanson, the Red Raiders senior, will take on Amicus Liss. Gormanson got a little bit bigger over the year. Head coach Scott Bennett told me he's right about 267 right now. Underhook, backing him up to the edge of the circle. Again, he had a lot of room outside. Nice little shuck on by there into a single, trying to pull him back inside the circle. Liss tried to forward roll, but Gormanson took him down, got the cover, got the 2, and leaves him back up. It's 2-1. Underhook again. 3-1. And there's another takedown. It's now 6-2 as he cuts him loose again. Same takedown, the underhook on this left-hand side, down to that near side leg. It's a good takedown for a big guy because you're not getting underneath the other guy's weight. You're at an angle attacking at the side of the hip. There's another 3-point takedown. It's now 9-2 right now, and Gormanson is riding. One other thing that you may see is a universal timeout signal by the officials. It's like in a lot of sports, they put both hands or fingers to their chest, and that's a universal timeout signal. Cut him loose again. 9-3, and he's in on a single one more time. Got it elevated, takes him to the mat, nice and gentle. If 265 pounders can be gentle. Got to thank Scott Rouge for volunteering this evening to come all the way up here to Wausau, giving you mat side seats, as we like to say, as Gormanson takes him over in 135, gets the pin. Six Red Raider team points, 12-6 to dual meet, as we're 3 matches in. Now we go down to the little guy, Jackson Freeman, scheduled to go against Peter Winter. At least that's who the coach told us was coming out. The other varsity dual meets in the Valley tonight, DC Everest is wrestling Wausau West. That could be a pretty pivotal match in the Valley Conference standings. Merrill is taking on Stevens Point. You're watching the Red Raiders in Wausau East. Marshfield has the bye. And Jackson Freeman is going to win by forfeit. 113 pounders. Luke Hamill reports to the head scores table, and he will win by forfeit as well. So 6 more Red Raider team points in a column. 24-6 the dual meet, followed by what should be one more forfeit, Deegan Armagast. So in a few minutes, we're up to a 30-6 lead. You know, it's like wrestling in a dark closet here. I bet you it's even hard for the officials to see clearly, especially once they get underneath somebody looking at their shoulders. Here's Landon Freeman at 126 pounds against Jacob Shute. Jacob Shute wrestled Gavin Jacobs last year in the dual meet. Jacobs pinned him in 349. Last year's dual meet, again, you had a lot of different kids in the lineups for both teams. It was Wisconsin Rapids 71, Wausau East 3. Nice little sweep shot by Freeman. Still got the leg, going to try to crawl up the body. Whizzer by Schuett on the left side. Now he's trying to trap the leg and roll Freeman through. which he accomplished, but Freeman bailed out smartly and got back to neutral. No points either way. Freeman cleared the hand, goes in for a shot, got a single again. Around the corner he goes, trying to trap that leg. Now comes up with it to his feet. Going to elevate it, lifts, takes him down to the seat of his step-in, trying to find a head. Got the takedown here. There's 3 in the takedown. Near fall coming. Got the 4 count, so he's going to get 4 near fall for sure. Shoot, kicking hard on the bottom, trying not to get stuck. Freeman's in there deep. Now he scoops the arm, got chest pressure down on this near side shoulder. Shoot, kicked over one more time. Freeman got to reposition. He's got 20 seconds. Again, tough to see. 4 near fall. Tough to see for the officials underneath there. 7-0, the Red Raider leads with 5 seconds left. The Shoot comes to his feet. Tight waist and the wrist. Got 2 more near fall on a quick hip tip from the feet. 9-0 the lead for the Red Raider after 1 period. Freeman's choice, he deferred. Schuett's choice now. He's looking around, not sure, and he finally chooses down. Hard start by Freeman. Stopped the first move. Got him flat on his stomach. In high school wrestling in the boys, there's 259,431 kids registered in wrestling at 10,962 schools. The girls is a huge growing program all over, and they have 50,016 registered girls with 6,545 schools having girls programs. That's almost doubling every single year since it started. Nice little tip for Freeman. Shoot, trying to roll through it. Freeman trying to get to a half and get it in there deep. He's got the legs scissored apart. Arm bar on the right side by Freeman. Got a wrist tied up. Shoot sat up and reached back, and Freeman lost grip of that far side arm. Schuett's reached back and grabbed that near side knee. Freeman's got a cradle locked up. Takes Schuett over the top. Near fall coming. Got a minute 15. Got plenty of time to settle him in. He's got to get that left side shoulder down to the mat. Now he can position him there. Schuett turned the right way for Freeman. Exposed both shoulders. Four near fall, and I'm not sure why we stopped it. It's 13-0 right now with 59.1 seconds left. And now it goes to 20 seconds. Oh, that must have been the end of the period. Okay, they ran out of time in the period. Nice double leg shot by Freeman. He's up 13-0. Now he's got 3 more on the takedown, so it's 16-0, and he runs over with a half. Got to scoop that arm now. Long time for Schuett to survive here. Bars that near side arm now. He's still got a half. For near fall, it's 20-0 technical fall for Landon Freeman. 5 Red Raider team points. 35-6 the dual meet as we stand halfway through the number of matches. 132-pound weight class. Spencer Pearson scheduled to go for Wausau East. And Aspen Tritz for the Red Raiders. And the referee's having a little discussion. And then now they're waiting for the next opponents to come to the mat. Some of the junior varsity and some of the 9 girls that the Red Raiders have in a program this year are going to be heading to Jefferson this weekend for a JV tournament. Varsity will be off this weekend as there was a tournament they were entered in that got canceled. So, unfortunately for them, they'll be taking a little bit of a break. Ooh, big underhook drives in to the near side single. Got a takedown for 3-0, 3-1 now for Tritz. Russian arm tie again into a double leg. Just drives right through him. 6-1 the lead, and they're going to cut him loose again. 6-2. Overhooked this left side arm, underhooked the far side arm, shucks him by, covers him up. 3 more takedown. 9-2. Crossface looking for a cradle, scoops the head towards the knee, locks it up, turns him over. No fight here on the bottom from Pearson. There's the pin in 1 minute flat for Aspen Tritz. 6 Red Raider team points, 41-0 the dual meet. And that brings us to the 138-pound weight class. 41-6 dual meet score, excuse me. Joyce corrected me again. She'll keep us straight up here. Cameron Bushman scheduled to go for Wausau East. And Gavin Jacobs for the Red Raiders. Gavin Jacobs jumped up a lot of weight classes over the summer. He was a much lighter weight wrestler last year. So evidently he had a growing spurt. Into a spitting cycle, around the corner he goes, a little short drag, covers him, 3-0, going to cut him loose, or try to. But Bushman dives back into a single. Jacob cross-faced him, locked him up to a cradle, turned him. And there is the pin in 27 seconds on the fall. Bushman had a good counter. He was trying to work his way out. He had a single locked up. Ackerman said, that ain't going to happen. Cross-faced him, locked him up with a cradle, and pinned him. Excuse me, that was Jack Ackerman. Excuse me. I looked at the wrong spot. Again, it's early in the year for all of us here, and we can't see anybody. It's like watching a horror movie in the dark in the middle of the night someplace. You maybe get a street light here and there, but other than that, you're black. This is Gavin Jacobs against Christian Simons. That was Jack Ackerman once again with a pin in 27 seconds over Cameron Bushman. Arm tie by the Red Raider, trying to drag him by in front. Lost the grip. Back to neutral. Front headlock by Simmons. Again, 1 foot or 1 toe or 1 finger inbounds on the line is considered inbounds now. Nice shot by Jacobs on a far side single. Trying to come up off his knees, which he has done. Simmons trying to forward roll him back into a double. Underhook gets thrown off by Simmons. Good competitive match to this point in the first minute and a half. Again, in the past, that would be out of bounds, but not now. Simmons' feet were in bounds, so we're still wrestling. You could basically end up almost on the hard floor. Three seconds, 2, 1. End of period 1, no score. 0-0 after 1 period. Simmons' choice, he defers. Jacobs' choice, he's going down. Jacobs set. Simmons going to cover on the left-hand side. Clearing the arms of Jacobs, easily comes to his feet. Now got to work on hand control. Simmons cleared him, takes him back to the mat. Jacobs took him over the top, but he got his leg hung up underneath. Now they're out of bounds. Back to the center we go. 1:34 left. Caution Jacobs jumping to start. First caution, no points. Jacobs spins on that inside knee, works his feet to the ground. Hard switch on the way down to the mat. And Simmons flying. 1 point escape. Jacobs, they're on their feet. Simmons went flying through the air there with that switch. Two half shots by Jacobs. Didn't complete either one of them. Little arm drag attempt by Simmons, but Jacobs said, no, you're not going to get that on me now. Tried it again. Around the corner we go. This time he completes it. 3 takedowns, Simmons. He jumps back in front 3-1 with 30 seconds left, second period. $20 seconds left. Jacobs got time. Coming to his feet. Simmons hanging on. Takes Jacobs out of bounds. 11.9 ticks on the clock, second period. Got time to get one back here. Get the match tightened up. Hard switch. 2. Reversal. Jacobs at the buzzer and the side of the mat. You can see he drug his toes. They were on the line, all within bounds now. 3-3 after 2 periods. 2 minutes left. Let's see what Jacobs can do from on top now. Simmons with a hard stand-up. Front trip by Jacobs takes him back flat on the mat. Jacobs digging a half in the right side. You can see him stick it in there. Now let's see what he can do with it. Simmons stands right up. 1 point escape in the lead, 4-3 for Simmons of Wausau East. Snap down to a front headlock by Simmons. Jacobs kind of likes to grub around stuff on the mat like that. You try to reach in for a single. You're stretched way out. Jacobs now trying to come around the corners. Got Simmons up on his shoulders. 58 seconds left. Got his head stuck in between now. Trying to come out the back door. And Simmons comes out with a takedown. 7-3 now his lead with the 3 points. Jacobs with a forward roll. Couldn't do that. 25 seconds left. He trails 7-3. "15 seconds remain. Third period. Warning, stalling, Simmons. Jacobs on the bottom. Got to go in a hurry here. Can't get set back. Got to come up. Can't sit. Don't have time. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Simmons with a win. 7-3. Three points for Wausau East. 47-9 the dual meet.
Our next weight is 150.
150 pounders. Forfeit scheduled for Wausau East. Chase Geathers, your Red Raider, is going to receive a forfeit. So 6 more in the win column for the Red Raiders. 53-9 as we stand. 157 is the next weight class. Camden Rye scheduled for Wausau East. And he's taking on Jeremiah Peters, your Red Raider. Camden Rye not in the lineup last year for Wausau East. Neither was Peters at this point. Caution on Peters. And Rye with a little ankle pick. Peters countered that. Overhook by Rye on this left side. Underarm spin. Peters countered it, but then didn't feel the throw coming. He got body locked and tossed. 3 takedown. And 2 near fall, says the official. Oh, Peters had Rye over his shoulder, but didn't realize it. Rye was on his back. Rye shoots in down low again. Short drag. Don't take him back on yourself. There you got takedown, scored, should be, and near fall coming. Get your head up. Come on out the back door. 3 takedown rapids, 4 near fall rapids. Potentially dangerous, the official called and stopped the action. And the scoreboard has an 8-5 Rapids. With a penalty point, I think they gave in there as well, because they signaled 1 point. So it's 8-5. Not much of a start by Peters. Rye was the guy on the move. Forward roll again. Peters rode with him in the saddle that time. Lift him. Little front trip. Get off your hip. Good tight waist he's got on the left side there for Peters. You just got to get him off that base. 17 seconds. Don't pull him on top of you. Well, he didn't panic there. He rolled through it. But it's dangerous. A better wrestler would have kept Peters on his back there. 9-5 after 1 period for Peters. And it's Rye's choice. He deferred. Peters' choice. He's going down. I guess it's exciting, but a little shaky there. And now we're going to have, a caution maybe? I'm not sure what we got going on there. Okay, nope, I guess they're getting the clock set. Peters to a sitting position now. Rye trying to chin drop him back. Legs ride now on the right side. Going to try to grab him. Yeah. He reached back and got the half, and the legs ride did Rye. And we're in a scramble. Rye lost the half. Peters almost came out, but Rye regained control. And Peters on his back. And there is the pin in 2:45 for Camden Rye. 6 more points in the Wausau East Lumberjack column. It's now 53-15. The Red Raiders lead. They have the dual meet locked up. Had that locked up a while ago. 165 pounds is the next weight class. Scheduled to go for Wausau East is Alexander Sherney, and this is Mason Tritz. Mason Tritz, cradle monster. Cradles from everywhere. He got long arms, long legs, and he likes that grub around on the mat style as well. It's not going to be super flashy, but he can be dangerous. There's a nice double leg right there. Again, staying on his knees, works up the body. He's got the takedown. Right to the hard cross face. And he comes back with the cross face, far side, underhook the leg, cradle, here it is. That's his specialty. He'll stick that bottom knee in the side. And Cerny is in some deep trouble. There's the pin in 38 seconds. Six more Red Raider team points, 59-15. And we have 1 weight class left at 175 pounds. This is Gage Stockwell from Wausau East and Oakley Plus scheduled to go for the Red Raiders. Coach had told us before that Gage Stockwell had a concert and he made it back in time. So Oakley Plus is his opponent. Another new Red Raider. Again, a lot of new faces in the Red Raider lineup. In on a nice single leg shot. Got it elevated. A little trip. Keeps driving. Across the body. Takes him down. Good work there by Plus. Stayed right with it. Fired a hard crossface. Now just digs both wrists out underneath. Trying to get him flat. Get him off his base and his knees. Fires a half. Plus in a high base trying to sit out. Or excuse me, Stockwell in a high base trying to sit out. And Plus trying to cover, getting up a little high, but still staying under the arms. Now he comes out in front with a front headlock. Lets him out. It's 3-1 the lead for Plus. Plus with a good collar tie. He's got it locked down there behind the neck of Stockwell. Doesn't let him go yet. Now he backs off, goes back to the center. A lot of hand fighting, collar ties, elbow ties. Plus with a half a shot, and then he took a bad shot inside. See if he can stay with it long enough to make it come to fruition. Underhook toss tried by Stockwell. Plus trying to come out the back, and he got the takedown. Good work by Plus at the end of the period. 6-1, that's a big takedown. Got a 5-point lead now after one period. And we got some blood time on somebody. I think it's on Stockwell. It'd be hard to see blood on a mat, on a red mat, especially in the dark. But it's hard to see the wrestlers in the dark. Red Raiders tonight start at 190 pounds. They forfeited to Cash Ryan Seafelt, Wausau East. Then Kyler Tritz at 215 got a pin in 156. Tanner Gormanson a pin in 135. Jackson Freeman won by forfeit. Luke Hamill won by forfeit, as did Deegan Armagast. Landon Freeman got a tech fall 20-0 at 126. Aspen Tritz got a pin in a minute. Jake Ackerman got a 27-second pin at 138. Gavin Jacobs got beat by Christian Simmons 7-3. Chase Geathers won by forfeit at 150. Jeremiah Peters went down on a pin in 245 to Camden Rye. Wausau East. Mason Tritz comes back with a 38-second pin at 165. And this is the final match of the evening at 175. Oakley Plus engage Stockwell. Next up, the Red Raiders have a bye this following Thursday in the Valley Conference dual meet schedule, but then they go to Eau Claire North, which will be a very tough tournament on next Saturday. And we got Stockwell cleaned up. Second period coming. Plus takes down. Stockwell will cover. Plus working hard here to get to a high base. Now he's up to his feet. Stockwell lifts, takes him back to the mat. Plus ends up on his base, just like a cat. Plus still trying to build a base and come up off to his feet, which he has done. And Stockwell takes him right back. Now he's got hands, turns and faces. Good work by Plus, staying with that good, solid stand-up. 7-1 his lead. Minute 20 left, second period. Nice little shuck inside to a single. Got his head down. Got to get it outside one way or the other. Now he's got it outside. He can come around the corner, which he does. Nice work. Stockwell content to sit in a base here. He's not really trying to work up from the bottom. Tight waist tried to get to a half, but Stockwell turned and faced Plus. Front chin whip takes Plus to the mat. To reversal. No near fall, though. 10-3, the lead now for Plus of the Red Raiders. Again, both their bodies are pretty much outside the circle, but Plus was his head and shoulders were in. Now Stockwell with a half. End of the period, 10-3 after 2. A little dangerous for Plus there with that chin whip. Now Stockwell will have his choice. He's going down. We'll see if what Stockwell and Plus each have in a tank left yet. Early, first time out of the gates here in the season. Got a half on this near side if he wants it, trying to get there. Gonna try to get out to the side and run it. Got the far side wrist. Loses that though. He's got to stay with that wrist. And he loses the half. Got to reload that one more time. Minute and a half left. Stockwell hanging on that right side wrist underneath there, just locking it up. Now Plus got to get off to the side here. Stockwell coming up. Plus sits up, tries to turn inside. Plus rides right with him. Stockwell back in his base with his head on the mat. Both guys a little tired here, I think. Now, Plus has got to get off his hips. And from covering his hips, got to get off to the side on an angle here. Blood time on Stockwell one more time. So he'll go over to the corner and get cleaned up by the coaching staff, and then we're going to have some cleanup on the mat. If they can see the difference between the dark shaded mat and a drop of blood that might be there. Again, early in the year, first dual meet out for both teams. Red Raiders, a lot of new guys in the lineup. A lot of young kids. A couple guys out with some injuries. And we hope they heal up real quick and get them back in the lineup. That'll strengthen the Red Raider lineup some more. And again, early in the year, so a lot of things will probably change before the end of the season. People go down weights, up weights before they settle in for tournament time. The conference tournament is back here at Wausau East at the end of the Valley Conference season. So we'll be back here one more time. Hopefully they'll have lights on. There'll be a lot of people wandering around in the dark. We'll be all lost. All right, Stockwell's cleaned up, ready to go. Hard stand up. Plus trying to control him here. Off the mat they work. Warning, stalling, Plus. .34 seconds left, third period. Stockwell with the hard start again, gets the reversal. It's now 10-5. Now they cut Plus loose. It's 11-5. 15 seconds left. One warning, stalling Plus, 1 point Stockwell. It's now 11-6. And that's the end of the match. 11-6, Oakley Plus. In a decision, 3 Red Raider team points, 62-15, the final dual meet score. Red Raiders off to what was normally thought to be a pretty easy starting position in the scheduling with the Wausau East squad. And they've come through 62-15. Good start for the Red Raiders. Good start for the younger guys. Get them a match under their belt. For the first timers on the varsity, that's big. And you don't go into shock when you get into the tougher dual meets, eyes wide open like a deer in the headlights. We'll see if head coach Scott Bennett is able to come up and give us his thoughts on the team in a dual meet early on. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling. We'll get this. All right, here we go with Scott Bennett. Good start for the Red Raiders in this Valley Conference dual meet season, 62-15. Young team, a lot of inexperienced guys, a few guys out. Starters that you'd probably see back with some injuries a little later on, unfortunately for them, and hope they get better. But young team for the Red Raiders, and what did you think about their performance?
I think we were aggressive. Even in the matches we lost, we did pretty well in a lot of spots. We just didn't finish some things. Got tired. Everybody's first meet. It's kind of like that. Guys getting used to wrestling up weights in some cases, and I thought it was a pretty good start for us. Obviously I'd like to win all the matches, but that's kind of how sports go. You might wrestle well and not catch a victory, but I thought overall we wrestled pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, early season, like we talked about throughout the broadcast, you get guys that are up some weights or a weight, and they'll probably be changing that as the year goes. You get guys out. A lot of young guys in the group. You had 39, you told me, in the room this before tonight's dual meet.
Yeah, we're right at about 39. We hit 40, and then we lost a guy, or two, and then we got a guy. And so it's been kind of fluid that way. Some guys that are new to wrestling, some guys that wrestle in the youth program and then are back out, and we've been getting that at times. Mm-hmm. And really nice group of kids. They work hard. And yeah, it's been nice having the numbers. It makes the bus ride a little crowded though.
Yeah, I suppose everybody's doubled up.
Yeah, we're all doubled up. Yeah.
Started off 190. Wausau East gets a forfeit, and we go to 215 with Kyler Tritz, and pretty much standard Kyler Tritz match.
Yeah, that Elmer Hurd was a Valley runner-up last year, and he wasn't. He was a decent athlete and a pretty good wrestler. Kai hit that shot early, and you could tell it. Kid was pretty strong, pretty athletic, and we had to, not get too impatient there. And he finally kept, kind of staying on it. He had a really nice shot there, get that takedown. And we've been working a lot on catching that Turk. And you catch 7-point lead. It's really hard to lose a match if you catch a 7-point lead. So we've been working a lot on trying to get the 3 and the 4 all at once. And I thought he did a nice job catching that. So, I thought it was a really, really good match for Kyler.
Tanner Gormanson at 285, even a little bit bigger version than last year. He's up a 267, I think you told me, pinning 135, and he looked really good on the mat.
Yeah, he did. He moves well. I thought
nice underhooks. Inside single was pretty nice.
I thought he did really, really well. He might have had 3 or 4 takedowns in that minute and a half, and still got a pin. And the guy was overmatched. But I thought just the way that Tanner moved athletically, I thought was a huge improvement. Yeah. And it's fun. It's gonna be fun watching him. Because I think he's going to be real, real good for us.
Jackson Freeman at 106, he picks up a forfeit win. Luke Hamill gets the same. Deegan Armagost the same. 3 guys in a row there that Wausau East either had a kid there, they just pulled him out late. Then we head up with Landon Freeman, gets a tech fall, scored 20 points over Jacob Schuett.
Yeah, I thought we had him pinned there a couple times, and the ref was calling pretty slow, which is fine. I thought Landon wrestled well. He was a little bit impatient. He went real fast on some things, almost went too fast on a couple of those turns.
And Kyler Tritz would do that when he was a lot younger. Just so wide open and would never let anything finish.
Yeah, so I thought Landon wrestled well. He said it was a nice takedown at the end. Had a nice fake on the first time. And, hit that fake, and the kid didn't bite on the fake, so then he just shot the next time. It was a nice takedown. So, I thought it was a good match from Landon as well. And, again, we're just some of these guys are pretty experienced, and you could tell they've been through a bunch of matches before.
Mm-hmm. And you head up with Aspen Tritz, another one of the Tritz family, gets a pin in a minute.
Yeah, I thought he looked real good. He's real aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought he did some real nice technique out there, and I was excited to see him, get a win. And sometimes those first wins are, a little tough sometimes with expectations. So it's
Mm-hmm.
glad to get that first one, under his belt.
Jack Ackerman, a pin in 27 seconds. Not much to see there. Takedown pin, that's it.
Well, he was trying to let him go, and a guy grabbed on his leg and wouldn't let him go. So then he just pinned him. So we were going to wrestle a little bit longer, get a couple takedowns. I mean, you need to do that early in the year, get
Sure.
some mat time on, or in. And yeah, he just ended up cradling him up and pinning him. So
Gavin Jacobs going up to 144 from where he was last year. A lot of weight class jump there, and goes down to Kristen Simmons.
yeah, that was probably their best wrestler. Kid's, pretty decent,
Mhm.
pretty athletic, pretty decent technique. And Gavin did some really good stuff. He just wasn't strong enough to finish. And
Right.
then, wrestling guys that are strong kind of ran out of gas then as he was fighting that
Sure.
weight. And, he's going to have to wrestle enough at that weight to get comfortable with he's going to have to take more angle shots. He's just going to have to, can't fight their hips. He's
Right.
not strong enough to do that. So we got to make some changes in there on how to get him, in a position where he can win those matches.
Chase Gathers picks up a forfeit win at 150. Then you see Jeremiah Peters against Camden Rye, and Peters ends up getting beat in a pin.
Yeah, we were behind and then we got ahead. We thought he was doing some pretty good stuff. A little bit sloppy in some spots, and the other kid was kind of almost clones of each other. And I thought we almost had him pinned in that one spot, and then we ended up going under, and that guy did finish the match. Mm-hmm. And so, if you're gonna wrestle that style where you kind of give up points, sometimes you won't get yourself out of those spots. Right. And in practice, maybe we get by with it. You get to these kind of matches, and then we don't. And so, I think he's improved an awful lot. He's got a long ways to go, but I think he has the potential to be pretty decent for us up there, and he's going to need to be. So we need to see a lot of improvement with him.
Mason Tritz at 165 this year, up again another number of weights, and typical Mason Tritz, find a cradle, that's it.
Yeah, he was looking for it, and I think that's hopefully we got the December Mason of last year for the entire season this year, and that's a little bit more like what we saw. Had a decent takedown and then pretty tough on top, and that guy was overmatched, but it was a good way for him to get a start to the season.
Sure.
So.
And you new guy in there, Oakley Plus, 11-6 win over George Stockwell. Stockwell, fairly physical guy, but Plus stayed with him, and you can see both of them running down low in the old tank there at the end. But
yeah, we got tired and got that lead, and then kind of maybe shut down just a little bit. But upper weight freshman getting that first win, I was real excited with some of the stuff that he did out there. He's pretty composed when we were talking to him during those injury timeouts, which is another thing you kind of look for, is how well you can communicate with kids. He's going to be a pleasure to coach. Just ability to have that conversation in the middle of when a time when you're pretty tired, you're pretty amped up,
and for him to process it,
yeah,
hear it,
and
he
yeah. So he did well. We didn't want to give up that that reversal and that stall call at the end, but we had the match kind of won, and sometimes you just got to do what you have to do to get through the end of it. So Oakley got that first win, but I think Jackson Freeman and Luke Hamill and Aspen all got their first varsity wins as well. So when you say we are a young team, when you get four guys to get their first varsity win, that's pretty young team.
Yeah.
So we definitely have a ways to go. Their work ethic is good. They are a good group to coach. They get along well. They want to be good, and all of those things probably lead us to a spot where we can probably become a pretty decent dual meet team. So.
Scott, we got next week Thursday off. You got your bye week then, but in between time, you're taking some JVs to Jefferson and the girl wrestlers that you have, 9 of them, and then following the off day on Thursday, you go to the Eau Claire North tournament. And you told me before that's going to be a tough road to hoe.
Yeah, the Jefferson tournament, we're going to have about half of these guys wrestling down there. So all of our new guys in the lineup will be wrestling 5 matches this weekend. and we're pretty excited about that. You know, we schedule for a reason, and you saw that our guys that have been around for 4 years now don't need as much mat time right now as some of those other ones. And if
You
we,
guys got to catch up.
yeah, you know, when we go to the Cheesehead, that's for them, and this Jefferson one is for the guys that are trying to become them. So, so that's kind of a big event for us. And then taking a look at the Eau Claire one, it is going to be a grind. It was tough last year. It's tougher this year. You know, hopefully we're healthy by then with, you know, Carter being back in our lineup. We don't know that. We'll find out tomorrow. Um, that is a tough tournament. St. Michael's, Minnesota, number one ranked AAA school in Minnesota. Simile is defending AA state champs. And then in Wisconsin, top four teams in D1, it'd be Arrowhead, excuse me, Kaukauna, then Arrowhead. Oh, let's back up. It would be Kaukauna, then us, then Arrowhead, then Menominee. That's kind of top six teams. And then there's a bunch of other really good individuals. Sure. Nina's got a couple state finalists over there, and teams with those 2, 3, 4, 5 good guys. So they're going to be some really deep weight classes, and we've got now 6 practices to get ready for that, and we've got things to work on now. It's always nice to get that first match in, so you can find out the things that we need to work on. So tomorrow's practice plan is always based on tonight. So
Right.
so we got what we needed out of here. We're real excited about getting up to Eau Claire and getting after it, and from there we just kind of wrestle every weekend for a while.
Sure. Coach, thank you very much. Congratulations on your first Valley Conference win this year. And we'll see you again on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media for more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling.